Ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, what is up? So in this segment, I'm going to talk exclusively about the reliability, running costs, and maintenance of a M3. The E92, E93, E90, they're all mechanically identical. The only difference being 4-door, 2-door, or convertible. This is the convertible, it's the E93. It does weigh more than the other guys. It's about 400 pounds heavier, but aside from that, identical. So I've had the car since 2010. I got it with roughly 20,000 kilometers. It was an import I got from California on a tractor trailer. It was at a time when the Canadian dollar was on par. I think it might have been a few cents more than the US dollar, so it made sense. So that's where I got the car from, as a used vehicle. It's got about 80,000 kilometers on it right now. It has by far been the most reliable car I've ever had, which is almost feels kind of bizarre because the M series cars, they're basically race cars. They're highly stressed. This was the last of the naturally aspirated M cars that BMW made, high revving V8. It's a gem. I love it to bits. It's actually the longest I've ever owned any kind of performance car, and I've had quite a few. I've had I don't know, probably the fastest car that I started out with was about 10-15 years ago, was a Subaru WRX. Had that tuned, all done. Had an E46 M3, an Audi S4. Got into this, and I've had extra cars on the side, like daily drivers as well. So I've always had something kind of fast in my garage at some point. So back to reliability, maintenance. Fantastic car. I would highly recommend it from a maintenance and reliability perspective. I just had the oil change today. Kind of sucks. It's an expensive process. Most BMWs are around 100 bucks, 90 bucks to change oil. This is about 300. It uses a special casserole blend, so it's really the cost of the oil, and it needs about 8.5 liters. Aside from that, I've had zero mechanical failures in this car. I had some emissions issues with my E46 with the catalytic, which were covered under warranty, but no mechanical issues with that either. I know the E46 has issues with the Vanos. I had a chat with David at Europa Motors. They're in Markham. I'd highly recommend them to service your car if you live in the area. Their mechanics rates only $99 an hour versus BMW's $140, $150. So I use them for any kind of work. So brake flush, coolant flush, things like that. Oil changes for sure. Anything else is pretty much like it's put gas in it and drive it. Honestly, it gets 22 miles to the gallon, so you can figure out running costs depending on how you drive it. That's my average. If I'm driving more in an 80 kilometer an hour zone, you can get up to 30 miles to the gallon. If you're really pounding on it on the highway or ripping through the gears pretty hard, you're going to get into the teens. The only thing that's broken in the car since I've had it was a clip back here, cup holder in the back, and they fixed that under warranty. It was like a spring, but no issues with HVAC, no issues with transmission, no issues, heated seats, motor, brakes, everything. It's solid. I can't recommend BMW M cars, more than I am right now as a performance sports car that's reliable. I've had nothing but an amazing experience. As I'm saying this right now, it makes me wonder why I would consider any other car to replace this. I know I've mentioned in a past video I've test driven the M4. I do like the M2 as well. So those are definitely consideration for my next car, but I have no reason to get rid of this, if I'm being honest. It's a really, really pleasant car to drive. It's great for a daily driver. You push the M button, it transforms the dynamics of the car. It's reliable. Just put gas in it and go, and it's really as simple as that. If you have any other questions that I might have missed as far as reliability, running costs, things like that, post them in the comments below. I'm also going to do a quick video, which I'm going to hand off to after this on the computer, because there's a couple things I want to touch on there. I'll have to just point the camera around, but that's it. See you guys in a sec. Ciao. All right, guys, so I just wanted to go over the computer on the car. It gives you vehicle status information. Again, this is for maintenance and repairs on the vehicle, and it'll give you some details about tire pressure and blah blah blah. But what I'm more concerned with is any services required. That one there. Okay, so it will tell you, right, let's see if I can get it to focus. it'll tell you here when the next oil change is due. So for example, I don't know why BMW does this for an M car, but for example, I just changed oil today, the mechanic reset it, and they're saying in 16,000 kilometers, or approximately a year, almost a year and a half, change the oil. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I change my oil every 6 months. So if you've got a car like this, it's highly stressed. Don't be cheap. If you're going to spend money on a car like this, you're going to put in the premium fuel, of course. You need to change oil on a regular basis. I don't know why the brakes have lasted this long on the car. Again, I got it with 20,000 kilometers. The brakes were not done at any time when I've had it. The rear brake pads are saying they're good for another 18,000 kilometers, which I really don't understand because I've never seen brakes on a car last that long. I've seen the brake pads when the wheels were off the car and the snows were going on and there's plenty of meat left. Brake fluid I changed about a month ago when they did the tires. Next service is due in just over a year. And front brake pads also have is that 70,000? 70,000 kilometers. I don't understand. Again, there's plenty of meat on the front brake pads as well. I don't get how these brake pads don't wear down. Bizarre, but like I said, this has been one of the best cars that I've had. I've had no mechanical failures with it whatsoever. I've had electronic issues with Audis in the past, like wipers not going on when you turn them on. But BMWs, for whatever reason, I've had 2 M cars now, an E46 now this one, no mechanical issues whatsoever. So again, I highly recommend them from that perspective. I've had nothing but a great experience. It's only been my experience. I'm sure there's people that have had failures and problems, but I've had none. And yes, I do take care of my cars. They get serviced regularly, and if they need anything, I sort it out. But it's been phenomenally reliable. I would put this right up there. This is like Lexus type of reliability. Again, you got any questions, throw them in the comments below. I'll just respond to them right there. But that's the video on maintenance reliability of the M3. Thanks for watching. Talk to you guys later. Peace.